Yeah, and it's bonus points for him, too. They would move him 10 points closer. He's going to be in the chase.
Right. Denny has won 5 races. And, of course, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson has won 5 races. So if he can pick up a win, he would pick up 10 additional points over Denny going into the chase and the #1 seed.
Yeah, you can see Jimmy really sliding his car around. Now Carl's going back to the bottom. This is where he was really fast on the last longer run.
Little puff of smoke, maybe a little tire rub on the 9. Here we go. Jimmy's going to take another look, and you're right. Casey does not want to give him much room on that high side because that's where the 48's really been running well.
And he can make Jimmy use up some tires here.
Look at this, 3 wide.
Carl's been running down low, and boy, he's got a little twitch in there as well. This is great. All 3, nose to tail. And looking down on the crowd here, folks, they are all on their feet as we've got 36 laps to go. Here comes Carl again, going to try the low side. Slides it back up, everybody back in station.
Yeah, now you see why everybody talks about loving the race here. This is what it's about. And these guys have run almost 300 laps around here, and they're separated just by a few hundredths of a second right here.
Everybody in that top
look
group.
how close Casey Kane gets to the wall.
They're all running 32-second laps right now, leaving nothing on the table with 35 to go.
Couldn't slide a piece of paper between Casey Kane's car and the wall last lap.
He is not going to give that high line to the 48, and it is still paying dividends for him. Casey, 2 wins here. Jimmy Johnson, of course, he's won here 3 times. Carl Edwards picked up his first ever Cup win here back in 2005.
Yeah, you can see Carl Edwards get a really good run off the corner that time, right on Jimmy Johnson's bumper. See Jimmy going to try to make the pass now.
Here we go. 8 combined wins between the three. Oh, and Jimmy gets loose. Door open for Carl. Can he get past him?
Yeah, Carl was driving it too. He was sideways on the bottom.
And all it did was gave the 9 car a little bit of breathing space. What's happened to Tony Stewart? There he is running in 5th position. And now he has just gotten around Kyle Busch for that 5th spot. Kurt Busch is his next target. Dave Burns.
And, of course, restarting back in traffic after they lost a position on pit road. A little tight in the center of the corner, but it seems to be coming to him now, and he's making his way back forward. One of the best cars all night for the 14 bunch, and they've just hung in there.
Tony on that last lap ran a 31.9. The leader ran 32.2.
Well, what he's trying to make up for is that one bad restart he got. He was up front, spun the tires, went back to about 4th or 5th, and then the caution came right back out. Then they ended up making that pit stop, losing another spot. So it really did set him back in the run, and he's going to have a lot to make up here.
This is great, these 3. I mean, Carl just loves the bottom, but he just can't carry enough momentum to finish the deal.
Yeah, and Jimmy Johnson would just love to get out front. He knows that he could stretch this out a little bit if he could get that clean air on the nose of his Chevrolet.
You know who else knows that?
Yeah, Casey Kane. Yeah.
How about Juan Pablo Montoya going past Martin Truex? That moves Montoya up to 7th. And here comes Martin right back on him. Meanwhile, the battle back up front. There we go. Let's split screen it for you.
I've been surprised that Jimmy hasn't just tried to dive all the way to the bottom like where Carl Edwards is to see if he might put a slide job on Casey Kane.
Well, we've got caution on the racetrack.
Wreck in 2. 12 just hit the wall in 2 and drove it across the racetrack. Just watch for debris.
Word you heard there. Brad Keselowski got into the wall just hard enough. Brings out our 7th caution.
Yeah, if you got a flat, we need to pit now. But
how good a move was this by Kurt Busch and those guys? He stayed up in the 4th spot. Just really smart, Steve Addington and Kurt Busch.
Ooh, yeah.
This was close. See how sideways?
Wow.
Good job not to hit anything.
And a good job for everybody else to avoid him.
It's going to change everything, though. All of them will come down pit road. Like I said, it's a good reset now for Kurt Busch.
Brad finished 12th last night in the Nationwide Series. And what it means for David Ruderman is he gets the lucky dog and gets back on the lead lap. That'll give us a total of 22 cars on the lead lap.
Well, he's worked hard all night. He was 2 laps down at one time, so finally getting back on the lead lap.
All right, we talked about the fact the chances were we were going to get one more.
It's a big opportunity now for pit crews to shine. They can get their driver in a position to win this race, and they all know it. This is you know, when it's a gut check time for the pit crews.
And we talked about it at the very beginning. Are you as good on your last stop as you have been on the first couple? And Tony Stewart's team has been spot on pit stops.
Yeah, it may not be the last pit stop, but you got to treat it like that it is.
Yeah.
We have 30 laps to, or just under 30 to go, because anything they run over 8 or 9 laps, they're going to come back again.
Well,
But you got to get this one out of the way first.
The race off pit road is going to be the one to watch right now.
Well, anyway, you look at it, this is going to set everybody up to put them in position to win. Even if they do make another pit stop, they got to make this one count if they're going to have a shot at it. We'll see how Casey Kane's crew handles this right here. This is the first time they've had the lead coming on pit road tonight.
All right, pits are open. Let's set it early to Jerry Punch.
Got you, buddy. Pit stop coming down 99.48. Both drivers said the cars are so good, let's not take any major chances. Slight air pressure for Carl Edwards. No changes for Jimmy Johnson. Mike.
Casey Kane pretty happy with the race car. He says just make a slight air pressure adjustment, a quarter pound out of the right rear on the 9 car. 4-tire change there, Dave.
Tony Stewart's tight race car got out in clean air. It was loose again, so they're going to make an air pressure adjustment to get that car back to him. Jamie?
And Kurt Busch says this is the best the car's been all night. He starts off a little snug. No changes for the first time tonight. 4 tires and fuel for the 2 car.
Race off pit road and take a look. See where the 14 is. We talked about how good those guys have been. Picks up 3 spots. Edwards' crew does the job. Kane loses 2. Johnson loses 2.
Way to recover, boys.
Boyer picks up 2. That was the 99 radio you heard. Let's go back and take another look at this.
See, Edwards gets out pretty cleanly. Look at Stewart, man. What a job that pit crew's done tonight.
Can you tell those guys are happy?
Hey, they're just as competitive as the drivers, I'll tell you that.
But we mentioned it. Tony Stewart's crew, they get the A+ award tonight. They just gave their driver another chance.
Well, he's going to get a chance to start up front again. We'll see how good he can restart. We'll see that little trick maybe he's got up his sleeve.
Said he had something working.
Okay, now. And the pit crew for Kurt Busch.
Well, yeah, and Steve Addington's done a great job of strategy tonight, working on this race car. And Kurt Busch, really, for not giving up on this and really working with the crew, you got to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, this was a 25th place race car early in this race, and these guys were sitting here. Yeah, best, and they're sitting here in the 5th spot now.
On board with Kurt. Got the visor up, getting some air. Of course, coming up right after our race, it will be Sports Center, and we'll be able to talk with the race winner as he'll join the Sports Center crew. We've got a major pennant race injury. Get you the update on that. And a wild finish on campus.
I hadn't seen Sports Center, but I hope that's not anybody on my Yankees team.
Well, hate to see anybody injured, quite frankly,
well,
going
I
down
do
the
too.
stretch. All right.
But it'd be better if it's not them.
Okay. You're allowed to be a fan. All right, while we've got a moment, let's go back to the racing that we had going on with the top 3 and listen in on Jimmy Johnson's evaluation.
I got so excited I got a hamstring cramp that I had to fight for about 10 laps.
Hell, if that's all it takes for me to punch you in the hammy next time before you get in the car.
Is that something you fight in the car?
You do, especially here. I mean, this is a long race. We've been here a long time. You know, you sweat a lot. Even though this is at night, it's still hot inside these cars, and you get tensed up because you're there running sideways with these other cars trying to take the lead, and I've had that to happen before. It's amazing you can keep going like that.
We're 20 minutes shy of being 4 hours behind the wheel. That's how much. All right, the waiver rounds are going around right now. We'll get the list and get it to you as long as it's not 21 long.
Yeah, we had one earlier in the race. I thought they threw the green flag early.
yeah, we're looking, and Andy's going, did they throw the green? All right, here are the winless streaks of guys that, well, up front. Carl Edwards, 60 races from Homestead of 08. Tony from Kansas, 09 in October of 31.
Boy, it doesn't seem like it's been that long for Tony, but I guess it has.
Well, as we mentioned, he's had at least 1 race win ever since he's come into Cup.
Yeah,
in each of those years.
Yeah, 6 of our top 7 right now are guys that are in the top 12 right now. So a win would mean a lot to them. 10 bonus points going into the chase.
All right, here are the waiver rounds. There's only 7 this time. Gilliland, Elliott, Blaney, Hornish, Carpentier, Quapple, and Logano. We mentioned the fact Ruderman gets the free pass. And it also means with Gilliland, Elliott, and Blaney coming around, that will give us 25 cars on the lead lap. Let's reset it for you. It's going to be Carl Edwards, then Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson 4th. Kurt and Kyle 5th and 6th. Then Boyer, Montoya, Truex, Jeff Gordon. That is your top 10. Here comes the pace car. Edwards, you got to imagine, yes, he does. He picks the low line, the inside route, because that's where he's been the best. Does Tony get wheel spin this time?
No, a lot better for Tony Stewart that time.
Maybe one of those tricks worked.
Yeah, he's going to have the lead coming out of turn 2 right here.
Look at Kyle going high on the 48, 3 wide. Look out, this could get dicey. Now Kurt's trying to go underneath. Man. Whoa!
Stewart blasted to the lead.
And Tony, contact. Casey Kane and the 2, and somehow they managed to hold on.
Oh, man, what a job Kurt Busch did there.
Wow. A lot of damage there on the 9 car, though.
Could have been Casey Kane's race right there. They got tire rubbing. Now he's trying to work his way down. He can't do it. So Casey Kane's not.
Left front, guys. Flat tire.
And his chance of winning again here at Atlanta have just gone away. Now the question is, can he get back before that tire lets go like we saw happen to Kevin Harvick? Meanwhile, look at what's going on here. You got Jeff Gordon, the 56 of Truex, and there's Juan Pablo Montoya. Here comes Ambrose and Matt Kenseth. Now that is all for position, starting from 8th on back. Gordon going to go the high side on Truex. While this is going on, we got the caution going out. Now we've got debris on the track. Obviously, some of that contact. And, now we know
Same
why.
thing happened to
Harvick. And there is some of the leftover material just rolling down off of the banking. Let's go back, take a look, and see what happened as we are getting into that stretch where everybody gets a little extra aggressive.
Well, Casey Kane got sideways off of turn 2 here. Probably lost a little momentum right there. Looks like Ryan Newman's right behind him. Yeah, got a little bit of a push there, and that sent Casey. He needed a little more racetrack. But the 2 car stopped him from spinning down to the inside.
And I'm amazed the 2 didn't cut a tire.
And he kept the position. Look, he gets back up on the track in the throttle.
Yeah, look at the way he brings it up and maintains control. On board with Boyer.
Clear high, clear high.
See, all this happening right in front of Clint Boyer. He's thinking, oh, my gosh, I've been safe here all night.
He was really pulling for Kurt Busch in that one.
Well, that's the second time he's made it through.
All right, here we are coming off of turn 2. You can see 48 really kind of sucked the 9 around a little bit. He's okay right there. He's going to get a little push from the 39, and that sends him down into the 2. And only just great ability right there kept that from being about a 20-car wreck.
All clear.
And Kurt is still shown in 5th position even after all that.
Yeah, he's got some damage, though. He got some pretty good contact on that right front fender. Be lucky if he doesn't have a tire rub.
Will anybody come here, though, Andy, even though they've run a few laps?
Well, if you're leaders, I wouldn't come. I mean, you have to give up too much track position. You will see some of the cars that are back on the lead lap come.
Get the fender beat out. Get a hammer. Get the fender beat out. We'll have another flat. We got the pace car coming.
Hear the crew talking about get that fender away from the tire. They'll have another flat. The 6 car, David Reagan's going to get the dog.
I think the water tank's busted.
And you heard that. They think maybe the water tank is...
You losing water pressure.
See, quite a few cars came down pit road.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Juan Pablo Montoya is the first taker. He's followed by Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, A.J. Allmendinger, Earnhardt, McMurray, Reed Sorensen, and the 5. Let's go to Dave.
They weren't real happy, Marty, with the card on that run. Tight on landing when Jeff gets to the middle of the corner and up off. So they will change 4 tires. You see the wedge wrench going in the back window there, and that fresh rubber will be worth a lot. Jamie?
And Juan Pablo Montoya took advantage here. 4 tires and filling it up. No adjustments for the 42. Oh, they did make an air pressure adjustment there. He wanted a slight adjustment. Race off pit road. And the 42 goes down to the 24, guys.
Jeff Gordon was the first off. You saw Montoya come out as well. Everybody else following in line. The race leaders, of course, stayed out.